Hello beautiful ladies, and welcome back to my channel. Now, although these videos are perceived as fun, I also want to kind of put a serious note into it because I feel like these days things are changing in a direction where people just don't present themselves in the way that they should. You might think it's not that serious, that it's okay to be doing these things, and in today's video we're going to be talking about 7 things that elegant ladies don't do or shouldn't do. And even the title elegant lady, I feel like most of these things are things that just ladies in general should not do, but our standards and the way that life is evolving have gotten so low that many people don't even follow these basic things. And you might be shocked at some of these because it seems so common and that everybody does this, that it's okay to do this. But in reality, it really gives the wrong perception of you. And honestly, when you look better, when you take care of yourself better, when you act in a more mannerful way, I don't know if that's even a word, you just feel better and you're better at doing your tasks and what you need to do. And in turn, you also attract better people into your life. And that's the whole point of my channel and why I'm making these videos, is because I want you to become the best version of yourself. And I feel like some of these hard truth things are not being stated just because people are embracing this whole freedom, act as you want movement, do whatever you want and no one cares. And well, yeah, it's great to be in a time where there's just so much freedom, but at the same time, it just makes people look bad, in my opinion, right? So that's why I am coming to you with these 7 things that some of them might be common sense, but most people aren't doing them. And trust me, if you want to look presentable and have better things in your life, I strongly encourage you to pay attention to these, okay? So the first one, my lady, is about your nails. And an elegant lady, or just a lady in general, should not have bad nails or bad toenails, okay? People think it's okay to walk around with chipped nail polish or bit fingernails off or a bad manicure, or especially on pedicures, not having a pedicure. And I don't mean like get a fancy pedicure or anything like that, but I just mean when people wear open-toed shoes and they think it's okay to have chipped nail polish, like extremely chipped or extremely grown out, it just looks very, very bad and unpresentable. And honestly, no one wants to look at that. And you're better off just having a simple nail polish or something. You don't necessarily have to have long nails, but just have well-kept nails, okay? The second thing is your posture. Now, it's very common to hunch over or slouch, or especially when we're on our smartphones all day long, we tend to bend down and kind of lower our neck, or even on computers. But honestly, not only is it bad for your health to be slouching all the time or to have your neck kinked forward or like re-extended forward, it's really bad for your entire spinal cord. Literally, it's very, very unhealthy. It could lead to problems. You really have to have a straight posture, not even for the fact of looking a certain way, but for the fact of that's better for your health. But also, it just doesn't look very elegant when you're hunching over or slouching over or kind of just walking like you don't really care, just kind of like you're just kind of trailing along with the wind. You don't really know what's happening in life, right? And that's how it's perceived. Honestly, try this at least for a day. Put your shoulders back, keep your back straight, just have a good posture whenever you sit, whenever you walk. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be just when you go somewhere, but practice this even at your own home when you're working, or if you're just sitting down on your phone, things like that, just because that's how it becomes more natural to you. And you'll notice that that's how your spine is supposed to be naturally, and the more you practice it, the more you'll be inclined to actually naturally sit that way. And it's really good for your health, and plus it just makes you look like you have control over your life. I know it seems so silly and simple, but it's actually very true. People who have their shoulders back and they stay up straight, honestly, when I see someone with good posture, it's so irregular nowadays that I just kind of get attracted to it. I'm like, oh, what's this person up to? Just because they look so kind of well put together. And posture is a huge, huge thing to doing that. And honestly, you just look like you have much, much more confidence if you are kind of, open shoulders, straight back, head up, not like walking around like this, which is what most people are doing. So don't do that. Now, number 3 is my favorite, my beautiful lady. And that is having standards. An elegant lady never doesn't have standards, okay? An elegant lady always has standards, and that is in pretty much any area of her life. I mean, really anything. We're gonna get into some other things later on, but I know people, and this comes with a lot of other factors such as having low self-esteem or confidence issues or past problems. But if you have low standards, you are willing to accept more negative people into your life that cause more harm to you, that in turn lower your standards, lower your confidence, lower your self-esteem, and it's just a negative, never-ending feedback loop. And that is something you really should avoid. It is best to wait for something that is on your standards or above than to be settling for something below your standards and having that have a negative effect on your life. Trust me, even when it comes to relationships or anything, I mean, I've heard so many horror stories, and after hearing them, to me, I'm like, girl, you will be better off being alone for the rest of your life than having to stress, for example, over a man that's not meeting your standards, okay? And kind of going down and feeding with all the bottom feeders that just don't go up to your level. And if you are an elegant lady and if you're working on yourself constantly, there's no reason why you should be settling for people, whether it's friendships or relationships, that are not treating you right. And not even, let's say, not even like top level, but some people settle for things that are very bottom feeder, okay? And trust me, it's not gonna make your life any easier. So if you're doing that, just stop. Number 4 is not being well kept or not being put together. And that kind of feeds into your overall appearance. Now, I mentioned having your nails being well kept and everything, but think about everything else. How is your lifestyle? Are you getting your sleep? All of this is combining into how you present yourself and how you carry yourself throughout the day. Again, like I mentioned, are you sleeping well? Are you drinking alcohol with moderation? Are you exercising? Are you eating correctly? Are you taking care of your skin? Are you, like, your clothes, your appearance, are they well put together? Or do you just slap something on whatever you see in the closet? If it's wrinkled, you don't care, you go out in public? Or are you going to take the time to make sure your outfit looks presentable, to make sure your hair is clean, to make sure you just look like a presentable human being? I feel like these standards have fallen so low since even back in the day. Call me old-fashioned, call me whatever you want, but I think it's better to look like a presentable person that makes you achieve your goals faster just because you feel better. And the more better you feel, the more better you do. And walking around like a slouchy, unkept person. Really focus on your entire essence, your entire body. What are you doing? Are you well kept in all aspects of your life? And if not, then I suggest that you begin and start by targeting certain areas one at a time. And then trust me, you're going to make an amazing transformation. Number 5, an elegant lady does not ever not invest into her education or into learning. So the thing is, you always have to be learning, and not in a sense of high school or college or graduate programs, because not everybody goes to those. If your career is oriented around being book smart, and for example, if you are in biology, studying to be a doctor, which is what I used to do in the past before I started my own business, that was kind of my path. So my education involvement was always learning from books, learning from lectures, and I was very diverse, and I knew a lot about my field because that was the whole point. To be a doctor, you have to know pretty much everything, right? But maybe your career is different. Maybe you have a different thing that maybe doesn't require that much knowledge. But I don't mean just in a sense of career. I mean in a sense of everything about you. Are you learning a new language? Do you at least know 2 languages? Because you should. Do you study music or look at art or study something that interests you? Always educating yourself. For example, even on your own body. Should I educate myself in physical exercises I should be doing to grow myself? Or should I educate myself in the types of food I'm eating? Maybe I'm eating something that's not healthy for me and I could change that around. Always be educating in something. Be educated in your manners. Can I always be brushing up on my manners and on my etiquette so I show up to a public place and I know how to hold the right spoon or the right fork, or if some weird utensil comes on, I don't look strange doing it. Am I educating myself about history or common topics people talk about? Because if you show up to a place where everybody is quite intelligent and you have nothing to contribute to that conversation, that's not going to make you look good. And I'm telling you, there will be situations in your life when things like that happen. And if you're not prepared, it's going to be strange and it's going to lead you to less opportunities, and it's just not going to reflect very positively on you. So whatever it is, you always have to be learning and investing in your education. Number 6 is an elegant lady does not participate in foul language. And again, this really goes back to kind of the shift that we have nowadays, where it's normal to say the F word in even some workplaces, or it's looked at as funny. You've seen that around. It's in certain sitcoms or whatever, rom-coms, all over the like Netflix, all those shows. It's all over memes on Instagram. It's just more accepting to have a foul mouth, and that's just not really looked down on anymore. I mean, sometimes people even have that at a workplace, which to me is quite strange because it is a professional environment. But there's honestly no reason to kind of articulate what you're going to say using those words, whatever it may be. There's just so many more intelligent words available in the dictionary that there's absolutely no reason for you to resort to those bottom-feeding words, and that's how I would like to call them. There's literally no reason. So maybe if you're strapped for words, look at thesaurus.com, look at dictionary.com. There are many to pick from that will probably get your point across faster than a foul language word. And the last thing is an elegant lady does not participate in fidgeting or nervous tics, things like that. One of the most common ones I see is the really frequent hair touch. And I don't mean like a flirtatious hair touch that sometimes you can do, you know, things like that, or just a general like hair brush up, but it almost shows a lack of confidence. Actually, that's exactly what it shows. Yeah, it shows a lack of confidence if somebody is constantly fidgeting, whether it's with their hair. This is what I see all the time. A girl doing this, it's just too dramatic, or this, or fidgeting with their nails, fidgeting with their jewelry, tugging on something, like moving their phone around, biting fingernails, things like that. It's not very classy, it's not very elegant. It makes you look unnecessarily nervous. I'm not sure why people do it. It's probably a nervous behavior or just a really bad habit. Whatever of those that you have, or even actually like moving around a lot, that's also kind of like fidgeting, switching from side to side. Whatever one of those you have, really be conscious about it. Everyone has something, right? But that's not a crime by any means. We get it. We all have those types of things, but we just need to work on them, okay? If you can't work on them 24/7, at least work on them in public in the beginning, and then slowly get that to making it a habit in all of your life, and it will be gone, okay? Habits can be broken. And if that's one of the habits, then cut it out, okay? So that's going to be it for this video. Do subscribe to this channel for personal growth and basically videos about money, woman, and power, because that's what I post about, content on all of those things. Please do subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in my next one.